friends, welcome back to my channel and welcome to the second quarter Boxycharm review for 2020. There are so many boxes and so many products to get through now when I do these videos, so be prepared. This is going to be some quality us time. Grab a tea, grab a snack, get comfy because these are long videos, but I love doing them. They are so exciting for me. If you are new here, I go through a deeper dive into the past 3 months boxes because you can't always go off first impression, right? You need to give these items a lot longer, especially if we're going to be talking about skincare, certain types of makeup with different environments. We're dealing with summer right now and it is humid AF where I live, so my feelings on certain things have changed. I also can tell you right off the bat, I do not have everything anymore. If 2020 has taught us anything, it is that sometimes we've got to release the things that no longer serve us. And that includes makeup products that maybe I just want to keep trying because some of you like it, or I love the idea of it, but it just never worked well for me. So in every single month that I have in front of me, there are definitely decluttered items. Some of these you already know about because I did a very recent declutter here on my channel. If you missed that, I will be linking it above so you don't miss out. But without further ado, because this is going to be a long video, let's go through the April, May, and June boxes. And keep in mind, I get 3 boxes a month, so there's going to be a lot to review here. So let's dive in. All right, guys, if I get out of frame, yes, I am wearing a top. It just happens to be one of those sleeveless tops that I got from Venus. I decluttered 2 items from that whole gathering of products from April, but I still have a ton of products left to talk about and review for you. One of the first ones being something that I just out the gate told you how much I loved in April, and that is this Pharmacy Honey Mask. This sucker warms up and gets really heated on your face. Not heated in a bad way, but you could definitely feel it opening up your pores. This is the Renewing Antioxidant Hydration Mask, and I'm always really cautious when I deal with skincare because a lot of you know I have very sensitive skin as it is, but I'm also going through hormone changes, so I always like to take my time with skincare. And even though we are now so far away from April that since I received this product, I can tell you, I still really think this is a great product. This is something that I can use when I'm really needing to show some love to my face and I'm planning to just not have a lot of makeup on, because the reality is since 2020, since April of 2020 specifically, kind of went a little kooky. Yeah, that's when everything started to be like I was wearing less makeup, or if I was, it was more of a natural bare face kind of makeup. So skincare has really been where my heart has lied, and this has done such a great job for making my face feel so smooth, and the texture seems to go away for multiple days after using this. I don't use this really frequently. I don't think my skin would like anything too repetitively in a mask form. I've used this a handful of times and I have really loved it. I think I've even got my husband talked into trying this one too because he's heard me talk about how much I like this one. And if you are new here, you may not know my husband Adam loves to try some skincare. In fact, some of the pieces that I'm going to talk about today, he's stolen from me and they are in his part of the bathroom because he loves them so much. But we'll get there, don't worry. So keep in mind, skincare can also be for anyone else in your household, including the dudes in your life. I also think this packaging is super awesome. Not only is this a really heavy glass and you can feel the substantial weight of this, but I also love that I can't lose this little spatula because it is magnetized on there, it's not coming off. Because I feel like since I've gotten so much skincare, it's kind of easy for stuff to get moved or bumped around as I'm reaching for stuff, and this stays with it and I don't have to worry about losing it because I've lost some others, which is a small thing but a big thing when you're going to use a product, you know? I love this from packaging to product inside. I think this is great. Something that I didn't really like that much, and if it weren't for one of you guys, I would have still been using this next skincare item totally wrong, because it never said on its packaging or on the card that I received or online that this was actually for your face. I thought this was just a lotion and I was a little bummed about it and I didn't like the smell. This is the Lavado Age Repair or Age Away Replenishing Cream. I told you guys that I didn't really initially enjoy the smell. Not that smell is a huge deal for me. I'm not crazy sensitive to smells like some people, but I can tell you the instructions that came with it and on the bottle, I just thought this was a lotion for your hands. And then somebody in my comments was like, girl, you could put that on your face. That's actually for your face. And I was like, shut up with that smell, because it's got this very hand lotion-y smell to it. It's not something that is very appealing to want to place on my face, if I'm gonna be honest with you. Remembering that I had this, I started using this in the evenings a little bit. This is not a product that I think my skin would enjoy using habitually. I don't think I could use this every single evening, or maybe even every other evening, because I was already starting to feel pimples forming. Do you guys know what I mean by that? Like when you're underneath your makeup and you go to do something and maybe you touch your face or you move a certain way, you're like, why does this feel weird? Why does this feel, oh no, that's gonna be a zit. Like you just know a zit is coming. That's what I felt like after using this, about a day after, and this was the only new thing I had added in. But so far nothing has come up, and my skin was still looking okay, and it was feeling okay, but I'm not in love with this nearly as much. The smell was a strike against it to begin with, but then that next phase of feeling it on my skin, it feels kind of heavy. It kind of comes out really heavy too, as you can see. I really thought this was a lotion for your hands, like truly, like legs, hands. Maybe that's just how I'll use it, because I just don't know if this is going to be too good for my sensitive face skin. If you guys got this, tell me how you enjoy it. Have you worked this into like a morning or evening routine for yourself? I'm curious how others feel about it. Just because I automatically was starting to feel some underground zits coming, and they could still show up. You know how skin works. I just don't know. Staying on the skincare kick right now, I got 3 Tony Moly masks, and I had never had any of the Tony Moly line as far as these face masks went. I don't purchase sheet masks, but I keep getting them from Boxycharm, so I will try them when I get them. And I have given one of them away very recently, and I talked about this in a declutter, to a family member who's kind of struggling this year with some skin issues. The weight of the world has come on all of us in so many different ways. So I have been sharing some of my skincare with family and friends that would use it up far faster than I would, considering how much I get. The last one I have here that I am excited to use is this Purifying Cactus one. I did use one of the other ones that I received and really loved it. I could feel such a difference in these face masks than I had with some other ones that I had received from Boxycharm that were some sheet masks. Sheet masks aren't necessarily my favorite, and I think they're kind of wasteful. But I really, really enjoyed the Tony Moly line, and this has definitely opened up my eyes to more of their products. So something was my choice item for that month, and I was really on the fence about getting it because I've told you guys over and over, I don't really enjoy liquid eyeshadows. For me, it's always something that I just forget about, or sometimes it'll get crisp, like crunchy on your eyelid, or it'll start to kind of like do those lines on you. I've seen it so many times. But when I saw this was a choice item between a couple of different things, I just couldn't help but want to try it because I've always heard about this brand. This is the Stila Glitter and Glow Liquid Eyeshadow. I was obsessed with watching reviews for these when they first came out, like what was it, 2 years ago? Oh my gosh. I think I watched Tati's videos on it. I think I watched Kathleen Light's talk about it. I've watched everybody talk about it, and I was so intrigued. But they're like $30 a pop, and I knew how I felt about liquid eyeshadows overall. But this everybody raved about. So when I finally got the opportunity to try it, I was so pleased. And I can tell you, I wear this again the other day. I did some B-roll footage for you guys to see here. I love the look of this so much. I think it does a great job of spreading on the doe foot applicator. And I also think it does a great job of staying on the lids. It has been hot AF here in the Tampa, Florida area. It's summer. It's not a shock by any means, but yesterday with heat index, it was like 106. It was so hot, even here in my little tiny house with my AC going. It was so hard to just feel how my day was gonna go, and my face was showing it. I felt like I was gonna be crazy shiny and that probably all my makeup was gonna fall off. But I am so pleased to say my eye look looked beautiful even at the end of the day thanks to this. I love this a lot, and this has definitely opened up more like thoughts for me of like, if I get another opportunity to get one of these, I think I'll do it because I love that. I'm still kind of cheap, and $30 still seems kind of like a lot, but if there's another one out there that I just think, oh, I want to try it, I know the quality is totally there. And I have swatched and compared a bunch of other liquid eyeshadows that I've gotten from other boxes on my arm against this. this kicks all of their asses. It just does. I will be 100% with you. Maybe I forgot I got these brushes, and I told you guys I don't like brushes that can't fit in my little caddy here because I have a lot of brushes. I tend to rotate through them, and anything that has a bulky base to it, I'm always like, man, how am I gonna fit all these in here? Am I gonna forget about them? So the answer was kind of, yeah. But when I did remember them and I pulled them back out, I can tell you this brush here, the bigger face brush, has been a great brush for me for kind of cleaning up anything at the end of a makeup look or doing some final powder downs with setting powders. This is what I used this morning and have for the past week or so with my favorite Becca Soft Blurring Loose Powder. I used that this morning at the end of my face look with this brush, and I think it does a beautiful job with that without moving all the other makeup. It's pretty great for that. I used this brush today with some highlighter and this one today with some blush. I also think this kind of brush would be really good if you are an oily girl. It's kind of flat, so if in the middle of the day you need a little refresher, you're seeing yourself get a little oily, an honest tip you can do is take a brush and kind of like pat it in and kind of move it around on your face, and it'll just kind of let your face absorb it. Kind of gross, but it's true, and it'll revitalize your makeup a bit. Or you can use a spray, and if you want to, you could go in with that. That has been good for this. But again, I don't use this a ton, so I'm kind of worried that these are going to fall off my radar, at least these smaller ones. This big one I may hang on to, but these aren't my favorite brushes because I did kind of forget about them. I feel like we got a ton of brushes though this past quarter. Like, can we just? I also got these brushes that same month. These are from Lavish, and I'll be totally honest with you. I didn't use these a lot because I thought they were dirty, when in reality they just have colored ends to them. But I knew I had been playing with some blue eyeshadows at one point and some yellows and stuff like that, and I was like, man, I need to wash all these darn brushes. Come to find out, these were clean every time I went for them. I mean, what is wrong with me? Oh, 2020 is what's wrong with all of us, but whatever. I honestly don't use this green one too much, but when I have used this blue one, it's done a really good job. These are nice detail brushes. I've used the orange one and the blue one the absolute most. This one, I think it may end up getting pitched at some point or given away because I don't use this fine of a tip that often. It's mostly for liners, and I don't mess around with that a lot these days. But they are pretty good when I have used them. They're not falling apart or anything. These are specifically for more detail type things. Wander Beauty Mile High Mascara. I let you guys know in a recent faves and fails, this just is not my jam. It's okay, and I could see why some people like it. For me, maybe it's because of the amount of eyelashes I have, it was clumping them together, and if anything, it was making my lashes look more sparse. But I think if you have a lot of lashes, I could see how that look would just look so dramatic and beautiful. I just don't think I have the right type of eyelashes for this kind of mascara. So, c'est la vie. We got a lot more mascaras that I kind of didn't realize we had so many to go through, and spoiler alert, they're all kind of duds. A lip product I love, but kind of hate. I have this weird soap opera love-hate relationship with. I am wearing it now on my lips, and I love the color. I love the whipped feel of it. But it goes away and ghosts me after less than an hour. I've been drinking water, and you can even see how it's coming off a lot already, and I'm worried by the end of this video, and it is a hot day, I'm drinking a lot of water, that it'll be gone by the end of this video. So just remember, in the beginning, I did have lip product on. This is the Nude Sticks Lippy. It had a different color on it, but when you guys told me there was a different color on the bottom, I peeled the sticker off, and I don't remember what it was at this point. Used to be called Saint Tropez. I don't remember what it's called now. Probably something with the word rose or rosé in it, because it is a beautiful, very nice, rosy, nudish lip. I love the formula. I like how it applies. I would say this is a product I do need to layer onto my lips to really get the opacity, because it's not very opaque when you swipe it initially. So that part was kind of a bummer, but I just assumed it was because it's a pretty whipped, moussey texture. And you can kind of see here how it's just kind of like leaving some bald spots. You got to go back and forth, back and forth. But I love the color. That's totally a Nichole color. In case you're new, I love a good nude. Is that boring? Sure. Is it my jam? Yeah. However, I'm going to stick this on now before I lose some of it. It goes away really freaking quickly. I did some check-ins yesterday on Instagram for you, and if you don't follow me there, you can follow me right here to see some of the latest and greatest behind the scenes, maybe what I'm going to be filming, Q&As with you, all those good things. I told you guys at the end of a wear test day, after applying whatever it was, 3 to 4 times, it was this, it was just gone by the end of the day, but the rest of my makeup looked pretty damn good, so I was happy, not happy. I had a lot of feelings. I think this is a great universal color for a lot of people. The formula is really nice. When I first got this, I didn't realize that it was like this stick. I thought it was gonna be like one of those you press on your lips, and I don't like those, so I was glad it was a stick. What I will say though is it's a messy little bee, because if you store it like this, not like this, well, sometimes even like this though, I notice, it has product coming out of the cap and onto the base, so I usually in the mornings have a napkin with me anyway to do my makeup, to do any little tidy cleanups. I usually always have to clean this up if I am using it. And I do leave it pretty much setting up, because if I don't have any room to leave stuff setting down like that. So, One of the last products that I do have, and then I'll let you know what I decluttered from April, is this Zoeva Caramel Eyeshadow Palette. Oh my goodness. Yes, this looks like a neutral lover's dream, and honestly, this is what I have been going to all of 2020, is something easy. Ever since getting this, I feel like this has become something that I have put in almost a weekly rotation, because you can get a nice shadow on your lid, get a great blend going for something neutral. Today I even went in with it and did some of this gold shade after. So I started with the shade Finish Sensual. I mean, this palette likes to talk dirty. And then I went into one of the other palettes I'm going to be talking about, but then I went into Almost Burnt all over my lid. At first I thought it was just going to be a base color, and then when I saw how pretty the eye look was with that gold shade, I was like, you know what? This is the summer of gold. I'm just going to leave that on there and then warm up the edges, kind of go around it and make that yellow gold shade pop. I have loved this formula. I had never tried any of these Zoeva eyeshadows before, ever, so thank you Boxycharm for putting this in my box for me. And I did get another color in one of my other boxes. I think it was more of a burgundy, and I gave that away in one of my monthly giveaways to you guys. So if you do not know, I do monthly giveaways every single month, so make sure you're subscribed and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out. The two other things that I did end up decluttering from this month, and they were both actually in that declutter video. So again, check that out if you have not seen it yet. The iconic London liquid highlighter. Liquid highlighters in general just don't work for me. I'm always open to trying it if I get it in a Boxycharm, just to kind of like see if there's a formula out there that is new or that maybe my skin is adapted to, but it just didn't work for me. It was very highlighty and too blingy for even putting it with a foundation, because I thought maybe I could do some dew, but as you can see with my face today, I definitely don't need that. So I gifted that away to a drier skin friend that I thought would love it far more than me. The other item was a Dose of Colors lipstick. That shade was not just nude, it was freaking concealer. It looked like it was 1990 and I had put on my concealer lipstick and went out the door with too dark of, I don't know, liner on. It was crazy. Moving into the month of May, there are so many good items in here and so many not good items. This was the month that I kept referring back to as the very natural makeup look month, which kind of worked fine for me and a lot of you guys, because, well, where are we going? We may as well do a natural makeup look if we're not going anywhere. The first thing I'm going to let you guys know that I really enjoy, but I don't think I would repurchase simply because I don't buy this type of product anymore. These are the Elemis facial pads. I really enjoy these. I chose these after we had received, I think it was some First Aid Beauty ones, and I was like, wow, those are really nice. And I let you guys know I was working on a morning skincare routine, and this was something that I could use in the mornings where maybe I was like kind of sweaty in the mornings, or I wanted to clean off any under eye mascara very gently and then just kind of like clean off my face. I really liked those wipes and these wipes for that. And I think I've got a little less than half left, and I do really like them. I think they're really nice. I wouldn't purchase them myself, but I was glad to get them in a Boxycharm, and these were my choice item. That same month, for some reason, we also got in a different type of box these makeup remover wipes that are Dead Sea Minerals. These kind of remind me of the kind that I would get at like Ross or Bell's Outlet. It's like I Am Beauty Care. This little top piece came off like immediately, so if anything, the whole lifespan I've had these, I've had to chase this sucker down, so it's kind of obnoxious. I mean, they're fine for makeup wipes. I hang on to them for cleaning off my beauty space, cleaning off swatches, but again, I don't purchase these because they are kind of wasteful, but getting them in the box, I was fine with that. All right, so we did get a product that I have to be totally honest, I did not try this, mostly because even my husband tried it before me and was like, I don't think you're gonna like this. And my hair has been so crazy fickle through this whole thing that I was like, you know what? I think I'm just gonna say I'm gonna declutter this, and this is first news on camera with you guys telling you about it. This is the Daily Concepts shampoo bar. Yeah, it's in a bag. So it's on a string, and that's handy, but as far as like, my hair is so fickle. It does what it wants. It's wavy, curly hair. I really like using either a defrizzing shampoo and conditioner in the summer months when it's humid here, or in the other months I like volumizing nice shampoo and conditioners. I just don't think this is gonna jive with my hair, and honestly I've not even wanted to use it. My husband tried it once and he has far less fickle hair than I do, and he was like, like he didn't even have words. He was like, he's like, I'm not gonna reuse it if that tells you. So I think this is gonna get decluttered. Something that I have fallen in love with, and I let you guys know in a variety of ways, but when you see the pan on this, well, there's not pan yet, but there's a serious product dip, which is on my way to pan for this product. This is something that was an oops, actually, from Boxycharm. We were supposed to get something totally different, and then it's the shimmer, not the matte. I'm gonna be talking about the Too Faced Chocolate Gold Soleil Bronzer. You can kind of see in here the texture and that there's some dip into it, and it's because I use this a lot. Most of the print is almost gone now because I use it all the time. This bronzer is something I have let you guys know I think does a beautiful job, not only with like adding that nice warmth, suntan glow to my face, even though I've been indoors a ton this year, but also it blurs everything up here and it makes everything look so smooth and nice in person and on camera. Every time I've worn this, you guys have been like, your skin looks so good. I'm like, it is because I'm using every blurring possible product I can find. And this has done a great job. I know a lot of people were disappointed when they found out it was more of the shimmery bronzer than the matte, but I honestly have not been purchasing a lot of makeup at all in 2020, if I'm going to be honest, unless it's from Boxycharm or their pop-ups. But I'm even sitting here trying to remember when I last purchased a bronzer specifically, and I can't think of it. I cannot think of when I last purchased a bronzer. It had to have been like something from a drugstore back in 2019. It has been that long. So I was open to whatever was coming my way, and I am so pleasantly surprised with how much I love this. I think I've talked about it in favorites. You guys know this ended up being something that I reach for all the time. Love it so much. It can also do a very natural look though, and that's why there's a few pieces in here that I think do such a natural look, and that can absolutely just be like a nice wash on your face of warmth. If you want to do that W technique that I talked about where you could go down, up, and over, that's just going to make you look like you have a little bit of a suntan and you can go. That has worked beautifully with a few other products from that month. This product I have no other use for except for a natural no makeup day, and this is probably going to be decluttered after summer. 100% gonna be honest with you. This is the Chic concealer. On one end, it's a concealer, and then on the other end, it's got this little sponge here to help blend stuff, but it's kind of useless if I'm gonna be honest, at least for me. This is so close to the color of my skin, like you can't really see it. So the only way I've been able to use this with the type of formula, because it is kind of crayon-y and it's got this waxy feel to it. So the only way I've been able to make this work with my sensitive, oily skin is how I used it this morning. I literally took this after I did all of my skincare and my morning primer and let it sit for a while because I like to let my stuff sit. I went under my eyes where I always have a little bit more of paler skin, and I just tapped it underneath there, kind of mushed it in on my face. And even then, it can almost look like nothing. So kind of take that for what it is, at least for me and my skin tone. I just think this is probably going to be a pretty big dud with a lot of people. The packaging's cool. I love a good magnetized base. And I do have the Chic lipstick over there in the same packaging. I enjoy that much more than I do the concealer. I just think this is for one of those no makeup days, and that's about it for me. I did try covering up one of my freckles down here just to see how much it would cover, and it lightly covered it. So if you're one of those very natural girls, this could totally be your jam. Or if you're just, you know, doing a very basic face, this could work for just maybe an under eye or some blemish spots. But as far as like a true concealer, the way I like a concealer to go, which is going to highlight and mask all of my imperfections under the eye, on a tired day, this would not work for me. This would just expose all my tiredness. Another product that worked with that natural look is this. It's kind of jacked up because of the lid. I couldn't get it to push down. This is the Milk Makeup Blush. This is a Glow Oil Lip Cheek, is what it's called. I've really only used it for blush. I tried using it on the lips a little bit, but it doesn't really do much. I already have pretty pigmented lips. It looks atrocious on the lid because I had to like smush it down. And I did use it the other day just to remind myself. The thing is you could see how oily this is. At least I can right now in this viewfinder. It is crazy oily. So it does lay well on powders because I have used this after using my Too Faced bronzer for just a little bit of a pink, blushy front part of the rosy cheek. However, I feel like this made my skin look way too wet and oily if I have makeup on. So this really has to be a no makeup day in my personal world because I am an oily skin girl going through hormones, the whole thing. Like, and that's the area right here that I just put it on my hand. So I know a lot of people, when I read the reviews of this, hated it. This is actually a full-size item. We all thought it was a mini, but this is actually their full size. I don't think I could use much more than what's in here anyway, based off what I know. So take that for what you will. If you are a natural skin girl that maybe isn't oily, this might be something you could be interested in. For me, I have a feeling this is gonna get decluttered sooner than some of the other stuff. Brushes, so many brushes. I feel like 2020, we're getting a ton of brushes, and we got Baddington brushes, and that is what I was using with this bronzer, at least this brush I was. It does a beautiful job. It's very soft. It's dome shaped, which I actually really enjoy for my bronzers. I know some people like a contoured, like angled brush for their bronzer. I really enjoy just kind of like buffing it around, going up on my nose, and doing that weird W technique this summer. To me, that has worked out great, and this brush is perfect for that. It very much reminds me of my favorite brush that I used for bronzer for 2-3 years now, and this is my Moda Pro BMX 130 brush. This also has that dome top to it. You can tell I've definitely used this for bronzer as well. These are very similar, which is probably why I enjoyed that. And they're both kind of thick bases, which kind of sucks to hold all these brushes in a tiny house. But you know, good product is good product. I'll use it. I have used this sister product as a contour brush. I still really prefer, I think, my Luxie brushes because I did kind of forget about this one for a little bit for contour. But I do like this. It does a great job. I used it today. This is a nice kind of like backup if my Luxie brushes are dirty, I guess. I just wish the base wasn't so thick because I'm running out of storage room for my brushes. But these are nice. They're not shedding. They're soft. They're good quality. Okay, something that totally kind of shifted for me, because when I did my initial review of this Tarte product, I was like, it's juvenile, it's small, it's not the type of product I would normally reach for. And while all of that is still very true, I have found myself on mornings that I'm just kind of doing an easy day that I have reached for this for just a morning lip moisturizer, and then I kind of move on, and I don't keep this on maybe all day, but it's nice in the mornings occasionally. This is the Tarte Sugar Rush Little Lippy here, and I think Peony, it's like Best Bud. It's this little tiny thing, and so many people thought it was so cute, and it kind of is cute. I can't lie about that. What I have a hard time with is I do get manicures when I can get into my nail tech, and I don't like putting my finger into this. So usually what I do is kind of just stick my lip in there and then push it around on my mouth. But it's a nice little formula. It's cute. I was kind of annoyed about it when I first got it, and then I just kind of like let it sit up here as this cute little decorative piece, and every now and again I've reached into it, so I'm less annoyed about it as I was that month. But I don't think this would be something I'd ever repurchase, but to get it in a box, super cute, super easy, it's fine. Something that I did not like when I first received it. Tried it on my lids, and I said that this really made my eyeshadow crease like crazy. But I said, I'm gonna use it again, I'm gonna use less product, and I'm gonna play around with it some more. This is the Pretty Vulgar Eyeshadow Primer. I'm not a big eyeshadow primer girl in general. Just to kind of throw that out there, I just put some concealer on my lids and go about my day. Usually I'll lay down a base wash color of something very neutral and then add shadows on top of that and blend and move on. And it's always worked fine for me. I always feel like this is just an extra step that I'm probably not going to commit to going forward, just knowing me. And that's fine. I'll put together one of those videos one day that's like the things that Nichole doesn't buy that everybody else loves. And this will definitely be in there. But after I used less product, I tend to kind of like bounce it off my fingers together and then maybe wipe off a little bit on a napkin, then press it onto my lid as I would a shimmer shadow or something, kind of blend it out, and then put a shadow on there. It's done fine. The past 3 days that I've used that, it's not pulled my eyeshadows in any way. I think maybe the first few times I tried it, because I don't use this a lot, I may have had just a little too much product on there. I don't see any major creasing going on right now, and I didn't the other day as well. So this is okay. I just think it's an extra unnecessary step for me personally, since I automatically always put concealer on my lids. That's kind of like my primer. So I can see why people enjoy something like this, but maybe I would use it more with glitters. But I've not been doing glitters. Like I said, I've been doing such neutral looks, so this is not as bad as I thought it was. I thought it was gonna make all my eye looks crease, and it didn't. The 2 items that I did declutter from the May boxes, there were so many boxes, 3. I decluttered only 2 items from there. One of them I let you guys know was the Studio Makeup Palette. To me, I have such a love affair with old school Boxycharm reminiscings, and I still have some old Studio Makeup eyeshadow palettes. I still have one of them in my collection that's really, really good. The palette that we did just get, though, was kind of more beginner status. It was something that you could use, but it probably wasn't as good as some of the other things you have in your collection if you've been doing this for a while, which I have. So I did gift that away to somebody who's kind of building their collection and didn't have those shades, and they already called me and said how appreciative they were for it. So I was so happy to be able to gift that to someone who would use it far more than me. And then the other thing was Pure Heals Centella 90 AM. This was some like skincare. Some of you said you really, really loved it, and that is so awesome. I've just had so many skincare pieces that I'm working my way through that I was worried that that was going to go bad. And again, I had a family member that has been really having some skin issues, so I did gift that away to her, and she is really enjoying it right now. So I didn't declutter that because it was bad, just because I knew I wasn't going to get to it while I was doing all my other skincare that I've got right here that I've been working on. So I was happy to gift that away to somebody, because when you have too much, it's nice to be able to give. Who's hot in here? All right, so this month I also received 2 mascaras. 2 mascaras that are also kind of pricey. One that's crazy bougie, and both of them came dry, old. The notes that I put next to these items on my big old list here were the Blink Black Lash Primer. My note against this was, I forgot I had it, and I think it's too clumpy. And then this crazy high bougie item, Kevyn Aucoin mascara, old and dried out. So because I totally forgot about these, the past 3 days, I have just been dedicating one eye to one eye to the other. And the wand here on the Blink one is still so coated, and it's got small little bristles on it. So you're like, well, maybe you can pull your lashes through there. And some people have preferences of how they like their wands. Everybody's got their own personal thoughts and processes on that. This is not the kind of wand I like, but I've had really good mascaras that have had this kind of wand, so I'm always open to whatever. But I feel like this clumped my lashes so badly every time I've used it. I think I got it to look okay once when I was using it, like, I don't know, a couple of days ago. Today that's on this eye, and it's just fine. The lashes have already dropped from when I first had them done this morning. It's already dropped. It already doesn't look as fluffy or as nice, but it's also the same with the Kevyn Aucoin. The Kevyn Aucoin one I knew was old. I could just tell there was no suction-y pop to it. And I'm still not sure if this Blink Lash Primer is supposed to go with something else, but I have learned this does not coat well. The Blink does not coat well. I tried coating it up yesterday on itself, it just made everything look like a spidery mess. So I was like, ugh. And this Kevyn Aucoin, the Experiment Mascara, the only way I can really get this to work, again, this is already so dried out when I first received it, is I have to use this back end. See if I can get it in focus here. This back end here is what I have to use on my lid, on my lashes, to kind of get that fluff going. But even now, this one you can layer. At least there's that with it. I'm trying to do more right this second. Heck, I'll even come over here. They're just very lackluster lashes. They don't look beautiful. My $4.99 Essence mascara kicks both of these mascaras' asses, but it is, like I said, they're old. I could see how this one probably looked really beautiful if you got a fresh one that wasn't dried out, but both of these were just kind of not good, just not good. The first thing I see on this list is something I totally decluttered, and again, let you guys know in that video, it's that Touch in Sol eyeshadow palette. That was an orange eyeshadow palette, and I know probably 70% of the ladies out there are like, ooh, orange eyeshadow, no wonder you decluttered it. No, I love an orange eyeshadow. I love a very fiery eye look. But that palette, it was just a mess for me. The glitter was all over the place, came broken as it was, and all of the middle range shadows didn't show up on my eye. I've shown you guys clips of this time and time again, so that has already been decluttered and just out of my life. And I think I'm still finding orange glitter from that palette that kept falling apart all over this room, no matter how many times I've cleaned it. It's just like, you guys know, glitter is the makeup herpes. It just never goes away. Something else that I keep giving a good effort to, and when I have it on camera, all of you say how much you love the look, but in person, I'm always so worried that I'm going to look like a grease ball. This is the Laura Geller Face Trio. This is for eye, cheek, and lips. The reality though is, for me, I'm not gonna put this on my lips. This is gonna be pretty much just for the face. At least that's the main way I have used these. The other day I did try to go back into the bronzer, not using the Too Faced, and the bronzer actually does a pretty good job. That's pretty impressive. For me, this blush has been a bit of a beast, trying to get it on a brush. The best way I have found to use it, actually, brushes that has an angle to it. This is the best brush. This is an Alamar brush that you can really like delve into it and really press into it, because I feel like you really have to get into that blush, because it's like this creamy gold flecked blush, but on a brush it comes out very, I don't want to say glittery, but maybe glistening. I feel like I have a lot on this upper front part of my face here, which is where this blush lives right now. To me, this is very luminescent for a blush, even for me. And I love bronzers and highlighters, you know it. But I feel like it's almost too much up here. I've even powdered down at the end of my face, look, and it's still like right there. I just feel like this palette is very shimmery overall, and I don't know. I feel like this is probably good for a natural day too, but not. It's this weird formula. I don't know how I feel about it. Try to do some swatches here. That's the highlighter. It'll probably be harder to see on that color of skin though. Here's the bronzer. I'm not a big cream girl. If you guys are newer, I have oily skin, so I don't, always gravitate to anything cream. But these are actually kind of surprising, because you guys have loved how they look on me, and I've been surprised at the wear time that I've been able to get out of these, because usually with the cream product, oily skin girl, humidity, I mean, I'm melting like an ice cream cone a lot of times. But with these, it's not happened. Even at the end of the day yesterday, when I had this on, I was shocked that I wasn't more shiny. I did powder down in the middle of the day, but it was only once. This formula, it confuses me, and it's the main reason I haven't decluttered this, is because I don't hate it and I'm finding good uses for it. But I'm thinking summer may not be its jam for me. I'm wondering if fall, winter is going to be better for me with this. So that's kind of why I'm hanging on to this even longer, because it keeps stumping me and looking good, even though it's a cream product and I don't normally jive with that. But in person, I do feel like I might be a little too luminescent up around my nose, and that can look oily for me. So, I'm still playing with that some more, but not as annoyed with this as I thought I would be when I first received it. Because when I first received it, I was like, this is probably gonna get decluttered quick. But it hasn't. I'm enjoying playing with it. I'm not saying I'm enjoying the product all together, but I'm enjoying experimenting. I'm experimenting with this. I also received this Combo. Cab is the brand name for this lippy and this liner. Now, while I enjoy these colors because they're kind of rosy, my bigger issue is more with this piece. Yes, it's super bulky compared to, like, here's a color pop next to it, and this is this. This eats up a ton of storage space for me. Tiny beauty space, that is a legitimate concern consistently. And I have found this one piece I've had to keep moving around to try to find my other pieces that I want to use. And the thing is about this formula is this weird goopy formula, and it's really hard for me to articulate because it looks like it should be a gloss, and it feels like it's a gloss on application, but once you like have it on your mouth, it starts to dry like a liquid lipstick in a way, but it never fully dries. So I felt like after about 30 minutes of wearing it, it was moving around my lips even with the liner, and I knew I had stayed in the lines the whole thing. It's just, it keeps moving. It keeps growing. Do you guys remember, what is that bubble gum as a kid that we used to have that my parents used to be like, that gum grows in your mouth? This is a weird analogy, I know. Was it bubble yum? What is that stuff that just keeps growing? I felt like this just kept making my lips look bigger and bigger, but not in a cute way, in more of a messy I made out with a boy behind the movie house kind of way, and I'm too old for that. So I don't know if I'm going to be keeping these. I like the color, but I can't make this work, and the storage kind of sucks with it, and that's the reality of it for me. But if you got this Cab combo, tell me your thoughts on this, because I'm still like overthinking it. We also got another mascara that month, in the month of June. A lot of mascaras. I mean, I'm not used to getting this many mascaras from Boxycharm. I feel like a lot of other people usually get them, but I don't. And it's the Lily Lashes. I honestly forgot about it already because I wrote down next to it, decluttered. That also came for me dry. Maybe they should stop trying to give out mascaras, since, I mean, all 4 that I received, I guess this one wasn't crazy dry necessarily, but 3 out of the 4 were unusable. At least this one I could use. I could say that about the Wander Beauty one, but all these other high-end, crazy, amazing mascaras that are supposed to be really coveted and so high priced, none of them worked for me, and they were all dry. My Essence is $4.99. I'm a cheap girl. I'm a cheap date. I'm okay with it. I keep forgetting to put this in a faves and fails video. So that is another reason I am so happy that I do these types of videos. This is in my shower, and I want to repurchase it already. And if this comes up in a pop-up, and I think it might be an add-on soon, I'm not sure, I am buying this. As a sensitive skin girl who is going through hormone changes, I've always had bumps on the backs of my arms, and this stuff is freaking fantastic. This is the First Aid Beauty Bump Eraser Body Scrub. Don't use it every day. I use it like every 3rd or 4th day, and I notice such a difference in my arms specifically, because that's really where I've always gotten those behind the arm bumpies. That's where I've gotten them, and this is so good. So I keep forgetting to mention this in a faves and fails, but if you have that similar issue, this stuff is amazing. My arms have never felt smoother. Real talk, real talk. We got these Lashaholics luxury lashes. They're real, I swear. These are really nice, and when I have worn them on camera, they look beautiful. They really do, and I do like this line of lashes a lot. Every time I've gotten something from them from Boxycharm, and I think I've gotten something from them 2 or 3 times, I really loved these lashes. The thing is for me, and I think just maybe the way the category goes with makeup and beauty and how there's trends, false lashes were a huge trend for a really long time, but now a lot of us are just kind of moving out of it. One, there's a lot of, extra time involved. There's a technique and skill that if you don't keep using, you're gonna lose it as far as applying them goes. I still really like lashes for like my big videos, like my year-end Boxycharm videos. Oh, I love those, and I usually like to just dress it up a little bit. That's like my Oscars. So I will pop on some lashes, but that's kind of just the gist of it, especially this year. Everything is way more basic this year, and that's okay. Ooh, something else that I have loved, and again, wanted to put in a faves, but kept forgetting about because it was in my shower, is this Skin & Co. Sardinian Spirit Shower Gel. Okay, so the notes on here, it says it's like a lemongrass and a wild orange, and yeah, that sounds all fancy and nice, but let me tell you what it really smells like. Let's get real for a minute. You're sitting at the breakfast table. You're probably like 8, maybe 6, and you're eating your Fruit Loops. This is your Fruit Loops. Maybe your lemon Fruit Loops specifically, but that is exactly what this smells like. And I'm not sorry that I like it. I do, okay? I do. My husband's the one who called that one out because he was like, who makes this? This is awesome. I love the smell. He liked how it felt on his skin. I do too. It's a very cleansing, you know, body wash. It's a body wash. It better be. But this stuff, I like the formula. I like that it's cruelty-free. I also really like that it smells so nice. And it gives you those good reminders of, like, I don't know, your childhood first thing in the morning when you're taking a shower. I don't know, I really like it. It's the Italian collection. It's a limited edition, of course, because I keep looking for this in the pop-ups too and not seeing it. But I really, really like this, and my husband does too. Like, we're almost out of it and we just got it last month. So that kind of is an endorsement in itself for you. I really like it. It smells so good. Ooh, the Glow Recipe Avocado Melt Retinol Sleeping Mask. These are the kind of masks I've been really enjoying, and I have used this quite a few times since receiving it. Like I said, I don't do masks every single week because my skin could not handle that. But I've really enjoyed this, and I really like how my skin feels after you could do this 2 different ways. You could do it for like 15 minutes and then wash it off, or you could sleep in it and then wash it off in the morning. That is the only way I really use this, and I thought this has done a beautiful job with my skin, because in the mornings when I wash it off, I just feel like I've like unveiled fresh baby butt smooth skin. I love it. It's great. I think this is really great so far when I've used it. If anything changes, I'll let you know, but oof, thank you, Boxycharm. Thank you. Ooh, another brush, again, that we got that I am using with another product that I received is the Too Faced Cocoa Contour Palette with this, well, for my nose contour specifically, $1 Billion Brows, like a detail brush. It's dual-ended. I've been keeping this next to my face palettes in this drawer here because dual-ended brushes just stump me. I'm not trying to harm either side, and putting it in there might be a problem. So I have been using this since I got it, on and off. My favorite contour palette is still my Tarte Park Avenue Princess Chisel Palette. I love this. I can use a lot more of the shades in it, if I'm gonna be honest. And I think the formula is just a bit better. But as you can see, like, we're dealing with kind of different styles of palettes here. This one is my favorite. You can see all the pan on it. That's like porn right there, right? Pan porn. When I am using this palette though, I'm mostly using the light contour with a little bit of the medium. And then I like to mix these two with a powder sponge to go under the eye and a little down the nose, on the forehead for some highlight. I like to do that to smooth things out. This has been really nice, and I really love using this back end of this $1 Billion Brows brush that, again, I got the same month, so that worked out. Dip it into this lighter one and work on my nose contour, and then I go back in with this bigger, fluffier side after doing some more detailed work on the nose, and then I just kind of smooth everything out so it doesn't look harsh. Everything looks nice and blended and smooth. I like this brush a lot for doing nose contour specifically, in case you're curious. And this is nice. I've been using this a lot, but again, I feel like I'm only going to use these 4. I may jump into the dark contour at some point, but I haven't yet. I don't know when I would ever need this deep highlight, because this is maybe just going to be a shadow for me or something. Maybe kind of blush-esque, but not really. I don't know. Either way, I like this, but I wouldn't repurchase this on my own. I am already thinking about repurchasing this though, real talk. But I don't need to at this moment because I have this. So that's kind of nice. This is good. It's just not replaced necessarily this for me because I have jumped back into this. So, is what it is. Sorry guys, my camera cut off. So, where was I? This is an eyeshadow palette I was so excited for. And I'm still excited for it, but I think I'm really gonna get more use out of it in maybe a month or 2. But I am really enjoying how this complements the Zoeva eyeshadow palette I do have on my lids today and on my eyes. This here is the Tarteist Pro Amazonian Clay Palette. This one is clearly a little different than the first one we received. The first one had a ton of shimmers in it and like only 2 matte shades, and it was much more vibrant in colors, whereas this one looks very neutral and very fall-esque in Nichole's world. I have played with this actually quite a bit. This formula has some fallout for sure. Today I started my lid, and the past few days I've started my lid with Classic here. And I just kind of like lay that all over, and then I usually jump into more of one of these neutral tones, kind of build it up around my crease, and then go from there. The shimmers here are a little lackluster. Not that they're not good shadows, because they're nice. They're just not the color that I go for in the month of August. When I received this palette in the beginning of summer, essentially in June. So to me, when I have used this, and I have used this quite a bit, I've paired it with other things that kind of liven it up for the summer looks that I enjoy, because in the summer months when I'm jumping into like a highlighty shade, this glam shade is really pretty, but it doesn't give me that highlighty pow look for my lids and my inner corners and under the brow that I like. It's kind of just more warmer toned, which I think will be good in the fall months for sure. But in summer, I like a little bit more pizzazz to the lid or to the inner corner, whatever I'm doing with the shimmer. So I've been popping into a few other things, but then the neutral shades and the matte shades are really nice too. The other day I tried to do trendy as far as like making a shimmery liner went on my eyes, and I feel like it came across more of a gray tone, less of a blue. So I started layering in with the other Tarte palette that I had a bluer tone in it, so I think that helped a bit. Sometimes what comes across in the pan isn't always what kind of translates on the lid. So that's why I'm still playing with this, and I think I'm going to get more love out of it in the fall months, but I'm enjoying it. There is some fallout when you use it because it's a pretty pigmented palette, and it's kind of messy, so you just got to be prepared to clean it up a bit. But I am enjoying this, and I'm excited to see what more looks I will be getting from it this fall. I mostly use it right now for the warmer neutral tones or the browns to do the outer corner and the crease. I also decluttered the Kat Von D liner. That was old and dried out. And I also decluttered, not in a negative way, the Melion Goes products. They were skincare products that looked very clinically. Again, I have a family member that is kind of needing some skincare love, so I just gifted those to her because she was in much more need than me, because we all know I have a lot of skincare. And there's another skincare piece that I do still have here, but my husband stole it. It is on his side of the bathroom because he really enjoys it, and we all know I got plenty to go around. This is the Tula Eye Cream. This is a very cooling like balm for under your eyes. He had tried this on after I told him about it, and he was like, oh, I really like that. So I just told him, I was like, you leave it in your side of the bathroom because I know you're going to use this far more than me, because you don't want to compete with all the skincare you have going in the mornings, and I already have a routine at the moment. So he is loving this, and I thought I'd let you know. Oh, so I think one of the last things that I need to talk about here is something else that my husband asked me yesterday. He goes, if this is in one of the pop-ups that you get from Boxycharm, could you get another one of these or something like it? It's not the brand that he's committed to, is he likes that this is a foaming face wash that's good for oily skin, but it's really good for any kind of skin. So I'm being more mindful of what I'm seeing in the pop-ups as far as just a face wash goes. But this is the Kylie Skin Face Wash. This is the foaming face wash, and I think that's why he liked it a lot too, because he likes when something foams up and it kind of really feels like it gets everything out. It doesn't feel very harsh or abrasive on your skin when you're using it, which is really nice. So he's just kind of hoping for something similar to this, or if this isn't a pop-up. Guys, this was so long, but so much fun to do. This is me going back through so many boxes, 3 boxes every month for the past 3 months. This has been my second update of my quarterly review for Boxycharm. I love doing this with you guys because it reminds me and you guys, what did we get? How are we feeling about it? Is it time to pass something on and give something to someone else because you have so much? Or is it rediscovering an old friend that you're like, oh, I forgot about that mascara or that face cream. I loved it. I can't wait to go back to it. Let me know below what you're loving. What are some things that were duds for you that you thought you would love? What did I just remind you of? And what did you declutter? Tell me some tips on some stuff that you know I'm still lost on, because like I'm still figuring out some of these things and making decisions, you know? Thank you guys so much for watching, and if you happen to be new to my loud, weird, crazy, unique channel, hi new friends! I hope you take a quick moment to hit that subscribe button down below so you don't miss out on all of these fun, loud, weird, unique videos that I put out every single week. Bye friends!